What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here once again for another episode of the Legion of Raw podcast. I'm waiting for Vince Russo. I don't know where he is. Hopefully he'll jump on ASAP. He got everything ready to rock and roll. Hopefully everything is okay. And I'm waiting for Vince Russo. In the meantime, in between time, how's everybody out there? I think we're just going to get started with everybody with just going on and just the show's going on, y'all. Raw review. What did y'all think of Raw? What did y'all think of Raw this week? This week we got a little bit more hype for the Survivors, the TLC. We got a little bit more hype. I think we got to pan out what is going on as far as what are the matches we're going to have. Big shout out to Elvis. Big shout out to Classified Chappie. Hello. I hope everybody's well. Let's see. He just emailed me. All right, so he is here. He's ready to rock. So we are getting started with Vince Russo here in a bit. Let's see. All right, we're getting it all set up, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting it all set up. He just emailed me back, so we're all set. What's going on, Ralph? What's going on? Oh man, Elvis, another bad news, man. Sheesh. Elvis. Let's talk about that more on my show tomorrow. Yeah, man. Come on, what good has happened? How was your Thanksgiving, Elvis? That is, I mean, you bring the sad news all the time, and it's so sad to hear this stuff. I'm glad you're sharing it, but man, I'm glad you're doing okay though. That's what matters the most. All right, before I jump to Raw, looks Vince Russo is on his way here. Thanksgiving. Why are they burying Elias? Donald said. That's a really good question, Donald. I have no clue why they even did this feud, and it looks like it was setting up something at least. Elias, if you remember, Elias was actually a babyface before all this happened. He came back as a heel, so he was actually a babyface, and his babyface run was okay. He had the feud going with King Corbin, and he had a big WrestleMania. It led up to the WrestleMania thing, and so there was something with that, right? At least there was something going on with that. But he came back as a heel, and then did this Hardy thing, and it did not lead to anything. It led to absolutely nothing, and it's making Elias look more like an idiot. It's making him look worse and worse. And he's asking me to send it somewhere else. Okay. I don't know what's going on. All right. Waiting for Vince. Just sent him the information, and I don't know what's going on here, but we will get it together, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah. Let's see. Let's try again. Get Vince on here. All right, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Here we go. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. Vince Russo, why are they burying Elias?
That's where we're going to start. No pleasantries, no Vince. How you doing? What's going on, Chris? I was worried. I didn't get the link, bro. I was panicking. I was emailing everybody in the company, and then Chris, I find, bro, what do I got to do to have you follow me on Twitter, bro? Like, what do I have to know your kids? Do I got to send gifts? What do I got to do to have you follow me?
I'm not following you on Twitter.
No.
Oh man, I don't know. Are you following me?
Yes, I was panicking.
Oh man, yeah, I'm getting all types of emails from the execs, all types of mails. This is what Vincent. I sent it to you at 11:02. I don't know why.
I don't know what happened. So we're gonna skip over everything else.
Yeah, well, I was just answer this question before we get to Raw.
Okay, all right.
I was asking why they're burying Elias. Yeah,
I listen. How can I say this without getting anybody in trouble? Let me put it to you this way. There are some WWE talents that I have contact with.
Okay.
Ones that I am big fans of. I don't know this to be a fact, but I know Elias is a very creative dude. Mm-hmm. I know Elias, really, really gives ideas, writes stuff out. Mm-hmm. He's always giving them ideas. And bro, unfortunately, with that company, that hurts you more than it helps you. Mm. So I don't know, bro, if Elias is in that position where he's constantly giving good ideas, thinking about his character, coming up with different things. And, bro, they're spiteful that way sometimes, which is freaking ridiculous. Bro, when a talent would come to me with ideas, bro, that made my job easier.
Sure.
Like, why wouldn't I listen to a talent is thinking about his character 24/7. I'm thinking about 100 guys.
Yeah.
So when a character would come to me with a storyline idea, I would have to be ignorant to not listen. These guys don't work that way, bro, for some reason. And I don't know this to be a fact, but Elias is not the problem. It's the material they're giving Elias.
Sure.
And I have to assume it's got to be for some kind of reason, Chris.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that too, Vince, from wrestlers, from ex-wrestlers who I'm friends with. They'll say the same thing. Like, they feel like they're kind of, it's kind of like a lose-lose, because you want to invest in your character, but if you come and bring something, either you kind of get it shot down. And I've even had people tell me they've came up with an idea and then they'll see it on someone else, and I'm like, oh man, that's absolutely terrible, man. So
bro, that never made any sense to me, because I knew these guys were thinking about their characters 24/7. I got to think about everybody on the roster. So when they came to me with an idea, I listened, and then we worked together in order to come up with the best television that we can. But from guys that I talk to, it just doesn't seem to work that way, bro.
Wow. Speaking of something that didn't work, let's talk about Raw. We get right into
bro, you're still in my gimmick.
We get a moment of bliss. Randy Orton's the guest on Moment of Bliss. This ended up with so they're showing, so this angle now is the Fiend has a weakness. That's what this angle is. Still, Alexa Bliss is still a clear-cut heel. I mean, she's very definitive. Still don't really know where the Fiend is. He's been a heel, but sometimes I guess he's kind of baby face-ish. But Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss are very heelish, but Orton's still a heel. He holds Alexa Bliss, see what I mean type thing. They have some type of weird dialogue, and somehow the Fiend shows a weakness. Why in the world, Vince, are they doing this to us?
First of all, bro, I just loved you trying to explain that.
I did my best, man. I did my best.
And I was really trying to follow you. I was listening to every word you said. Chris, I don't know what they're doing. Chris, the best way I could explain that, bro, they've literally lost their way. Bro, even if in the past there was something I didn't agree with, I would always go to their mindset. Okay, bro, this is what they were probably thinking. This is what they were probably trying to get across. I can't do that anymore, bro, because let's really break this down, Chris, for what you just said. Here's the biggest flaw. The lights go out. The lights come up. Alexa Bliss is in Randy Orton's arms.
Yeah.
Okay, bro, she's not fighting him. She's not trying to get, and that threw me off right there, because it was like she was staring at him like what? She was in love with him?
Yeah, it was just a blank stare too. It wasn't even, she wasn't necessarily scared. She was just sitting there like, okay, who's gonna, it was just so weird to me.
Hey, I said, Chris, I said Alexis, and it fired up my Alexis, and it's playing music now. Alexis, off. Okay. Alexa, off. Okay, Chris. So right off the bat, I'm like, wait, she's not fighting him? It looked like she was staring in his eyes like she was in love with him.
Yeah.
Then the Fiend does this gimmick. Here's the funniest part. The Fiend puts his arms out. Orton transfers her over to the Fiend.
Yeah.
Now, bros, right then and there, this should have been the story for the entire night. Orton kidnaps Alexa Bliss against
yes.
That's a show. Bro, that's a 3-hour show. Yeah. Give me that show. I'll give you freaking Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But no, he wants her back. Orton gives her back. The best line was the announcers putting this over. Like they don't know what they just saw. Now they got to take the time out to go digest so they can understand. Bro, if you don't know what you just saw, how do you think we feel at home?
Exactly.
Now, why couldn't Orton kidnap her, dragging, kicking, and screaming? Bro, you got your whole 3-hour show now.
Yeah. It's a running storyline. You should have more running storylines throughout the show. That's what makes, that's what causes kind of like an in-show cliffhanger instead of trying to create something at the end of the show, which falls flat every week. So it's like, where's the cliffhangers at?
The success to any show, Chris, and it's not freaking rocket science. You have the opening segment, which you're telling the audience, this is the story of the night.
Yep.
Something big happens in the middle of the show, and you conclude it at the end of the show. And throughout the 3 hours, it's interwoven with story in the back and what. But you have that main story that you're hanging your hat on. This is the meat and potatoes of the show. This is the hook. Bro, they do this in segment 1. And by 12 minutes after 9, these characters are gone.
Forgettable. Yep.
Bro, that's like literally, Chris, that's not having any clue on how to write a television show. Yeah. Like zero clue.
Yeah. It's very, very sad. There's no saga to it. Breaking news, Dr. Chris Featherstone is now following Vince Russo.
There you go. All right, Chris. What the heck? I this guy over for dinner with his kids and the wife. I mean, thank God. All right.
Speaking of following, for those who aren't following us, go hit that sub on YouTube, y'all. If y'all are watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on Facebook, that's fine. Stay on Facebook, but bring up another screen somewhere and hit that YouTube subscribe button. So we go to Jeff Hardy and Elias now. The Symphony of Destruction match, Vince. This angle has done absolutely nothing for Elias. Nothing whatsoever. It's been very, very sad, and I have no idea why they're continuing to do this. Another loss by Elias, as if this is... I like Hardy. But what is this doing for either one of them?
Well, it almost killed Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, the bump that he did, the swanton. Yeah.
Can I? I'm going to say this. Chris. Chris, I worked with Jeff. Bro, a lot of people don't know this, Chris. Bro, I was the one that sat at Vince's living room table and convinced him to give the Hardys a contract. Like before they even had a contract, I'm like, bro, like Vince, because, Vince was like, at that point, Vince is in his 50s, bro, and he's not really seeing the coolness factor. Mm-hmm. Bro, I was in my like early 30s, and I'm like, bro, you've got, and he gave these guys a contract. Nice. The reason why I'm saying that, bro, is I want people to understand how long I've worked with Jeff. I work with him at WWE. I work with him at TNA. Mm-hmm. I love Jeff Hardy to death. I really do, bro. He doesn't have a bigger fan than me. But Jeff, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what the frig are you doing, bro? Do you know how close this guy came to killing himself? Why is he doing this, bro? Listen, I know the guy is very prideful. And he wants to go out there and give the absolute best that he can. But with everything that Jeff has done and given to the wrestling business, bro, he doesn't need to be doing this anymore, man. Oh, my God, bro. How close did this guy come to literally killing himself?
Yeah, Vince, I couldn't agree more with what you said. I just, for someone he has a Hall of Fame resume right now.
No doubt, bro.
There's nothing else that he needs to prove. He's a multi-time world champion. There's nothing, multi-time tag, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. If Jeff Hardy announces retirement tomorrow, he'll be in the Hall of Fame next year. There's no doubt about this. I agree. There's nothing else.
And Chris, let's not forget, he's doing it in front of no people.
Yes, exactly.
There's no people there, bro. Like, what are you doing? But it's like what you said, Chris, bro. Again, ask yourself this question at the end of the match, and it's what Chris said, bro. Who got over here? Like, what did this do for either one of these guys?
Nothing at all. And with that same factor, for Jeff to still have that spot that almost knocked him out. I mean, he literally did the swanton, broke the table, and landed the back of his head,
bro,
in the corner of the step,
bro.
And it's like, and you're right, he did this in front of no people. At least he has that adrenaline when he gets the fans and the crowd. You're literally doing this in front of 0 people, a bunch of screens, and regardless if he did the bump or not, or if he would have done it 20 feet higher, it still wouldn't have mattered. It still wouldn't have put anybody over.
Chris, listen, you and I, we get older, we get wiser. Bro, Jeff is older and wiser. And bro, I'm sorry, Jeff. You got a beautiful wife. You got a beautiful family. At this point, bro, you don't need to be doing that shit, bro. Not one other person, not one more person is going to be watching this show because of that. That's not right. One. What are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
And another thing I just want to throw in there too, bro. Like this is the first match of the night. Chris, can they stop with the freaking packages? Oh my God, bro. They package this show to death just to eat up time, bro.
Yeah. Someone asked me a question last week about them going back to 2 hours. I don't ever see it happening. From what I remember, it was a Stephanie call to make it 3 hours. And, I doubt that Stephanie or Vince or whoever is going to be like, okay, well, we changed our mind. They still get money for that hour, you know what I mean? So regardless of what we like it or not.
Bro, the fact of the matter is, let's be honest, Chris, they bastardized their product to go 3 hours. So yeah, bro, they got paid a hell of a lot more. Mm-hmm. But what damage did you really do to your product? And was it worth the money for the extra hour from USA Network? That's what I would be asking. Because the minute that show became 3 hours, bro, they totally bastardized the product. Totally.
And you can tell just with everything being it just feels stretched. Everything just feels stretched. And it's like you can tell that it feels, as an audience member, you can tell that it feels stretched because you're putting segments on top of segments. Like last week, you had the Lana and Asuka match turned into a tag team match. It just feels stretched. You'll have a segment with Riddle's in 2 backstage segments now. One of them's talking to Keith Lee, the other was talking to MVP. Then that leads to him getting attacked backstage, and it's like you really just stretch it out as much as you possibly can. And at the end of the night, Vince, when 11 o'clock hits, who got over out of all of this? Nobody got over.
Nobody got over, bro. Nobody. I swear to God, Chris, it's funny because, the show here is on from 6 to 9. Bro, I start watching it at 7:30 because I know. And bro, I swear, here's the sad thing. I start watching at 7:30. Bro, by the time I get to like 8:30, I'm in real time. Like I'm literally in real time. And I missed nothing. Not zero. I missed nothing, bro.
Yeah, I had a late dinner today with my family. We have just a traditional, old school table dinner with the family every night. And we usually do it around 7:30 when I come from the gym. And we start off late today. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to rush you. It's okay. It's okay. I was like, nah. I was looking at the clock. It was like 7:58. We were starting, And instead of like, okay, we got to hurry up, I got to watch Raw. I was like, nah.
Yeah, I think I guarantee I pretty much would bet on the meal was a hell of a lot better than me.
Oh, the meal was fantastic. It was Thanksgiving leftovers too, so it was all good, man. It was fantastic. Next we get Slapjack. Slapjack versus Ricochet. Another, I think the theme of this night, Vince, is who got over. That's the theme of the night for tonight. And so the next segment on the next edition of Who Got Over, we got Ricochet and Slapjack from Retribution. Now, I don't know who got over in this match either. It's, it led to Slapjack winning a match, but at the same time, it doesn't really make Ricochet. I mean, Ricochet's not a strong enough competitor to say, oh, we picked up a win against someone worthy, because Mustafa Ali just beat him a couple weeks ago. So, so I don't even know where Ricochet is right now, but just continuing to pack up losses against Retribution.
Chris, you got to look at how weak the card catalog is. First of all, Ali, bro, I'll put the guy's hair over every week. The guy's got magnificent hair.
He does.
But, bro, I've heard this promo a million times.
Yeah.
Okay, bro, so let me get this straight. These were guys that were treated unfairly, didn't get a break. They were pooped on the whole 9 yards. We're going to take after this company. We're going to make them learn the hard way. Even though they give us contracts and they employ us, we're still going to take out this entire company. But now you got 6 guys picking on one. I don't know how you take over an entire company going after Ricochet. Yeah. But now, bro, it's the Cedric Alexander story. Mm-hmm. Her business wanted Cedric Alexander. How long did that go on? Now we're telling the same exact story.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's the same exact freaking story, bro. Like, bro, I could understand almost repeating a story 6 months from now. Bro, this has been 6 days.
Yeah.
They just did Alexander. It's the same exact freaking story, bro.
I was thinking the same exact thing. I said, this is really, really interesting, because it seems just like the Cedric Alexander Hurt business story. And I was like, you know what? I got a good feeling that somehow Ricochet is going to be a part of Retribution. It's just, it'll be the same thing over and over and over again. So, and the thing is, I like Ricochet, man. The dude has a ton of potential. And he's a super nice guy too.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. And I just wish that there was just something. I don't know. There's just kind of an intangible about Ricochet that I wish he can kind of break that ceiling, because to me, you can do. He's exciting to look at in the ring, but that's just not my cup of tea, man. You can flip as much as you want, but at the end of the day, is your character strong enough to outlast, all the flips? I mean, it's continuing to flip every week. It used to be a thing. It used to be an anomaly. Now it's every single match. You know what I mean? So if you don't flip, you're actually being different now. You know what I mean? So I think nowadays you got to kind of find some strategies to be more unique and stand out more, because everybody's doing super kicks. Everybody's doing flips. Don't be like everybody else. And I think Ricochet, he kind of falls in that bad trap of, he's kind of like the epitome of like doing what everybody else is doing nowadays. He's really good at it. He's really, really good at it. But there's just something intangible. There's just an intangible there that's just missing there for me. What do you think, Vince, about Ricochet?
Chris, let me tell you something, because I've been in that spot in the wrestling business, and this is where I really feel bad for these guys. Bro, these guys, the majority of these guys, bro, some of these guys are just in this for business and they make money, and like that's all it is. They don't the dirt sheet writers and the mark, they hate that. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God, like Roman Reigns just can't be in this because he's good at it and he makes a lot of money. He's got to love it, bro. He's got to eat it, sleep it, drink it. Like, oh my God, he can't. No, bro. A few people are in this for business. Mm-hmm. The majority are in this, bro, because they're very creative people. I could tell Ricochet is one of those people. And bro, there is nothing worse in the world than finally getting that spot and being such a creative person, and now the handcuffs are on.
Yeah.
And people don't understand this, bro. If you're a creative person and you're handcuffed, it doesn't matter what they're paying you.
That's true.
All the money in the world won't make you happy.
Yeah.
And bro, I think there are dozens and dozens of wrestlers under that WWE umbrella that fall into this category.
Oh yeah.
And it's so sad, bro, because they finally get there and it's such a huge accomplishment, but now they're there and they can't be creative.
Yeah.
And it's, bro, it's devastating. It really cripples you. I get the feeling. And the reason why I say this, bro, is I saw some of his work with Conan at Lucha Underground, bro. And he did have a character and they were special. And he had a relationship with Conan. And here they've done nothing for him, bro. They've given him nothing.
He looks like, I mean, because the thing is, Ricochet is just kind of like the Exhibit A creator wrestler. You know what I mean? Like on a video game. It's like when he was Prince Puma, he was under a mask. There was some charisma there. There was a storyline in Lucha. There was a lot of things that were circling around, making his character very strong.
Absolutely.
He doesn't really have a lot of things surround, like he doesn't have a support to making his character strong. Recently, it's like, okay, yes, he's so good. You know, he wins the U.S. title, feuding with like Samoa Joe when he was there. That didn't really do much. And then, you know, before that, he came up with Aleister Black. That was just a weird tag team from the very beginning. People were just wondering, what the heck is this?
Yep.
And even after that, it was just weird. And then he was just kind of back and forth for a while. And then we get the Hurt Business stuff that lasted so long. And now it's another group trying to get him, Retribution. So he's really been pigeonholed ever since he's came up to the main roster. He's really not had an opportunity to really flourish. And I followed his stuff in New Japan too. He's been quite solid, because with New Japan though, when he was like a junior, he was in the junior division. He kind of stayed in his lane. He knew where he was, and he was really good in the junior. Teamed up with Matt Sydal too. That team was really good too. So it was a good team and a good division in the junior tag and junior heavyweights. But just he wasn't really a heavyweight. He wasn't known as a heavyweight back then. And I think putting him in kind of like that heavyweight status now with like the Keith Lees and the, you know, and the Braun Strowmans, is like, realistically, if you put Ricochet against a Keith Lee or Braun Strowman, there's no way in the world. I mean, we saw that last year, right before Mania, when Brock Lesnar just plowed through him in Saudi, I think it was. That just goes to show the heavyweight of Ricochet.
Chris, here's the problem, and you know, nobody wants to hear me talk, and you know, I'm irrelevant and old and this and that. Let me explain something to you, Chris, because I heard Chris Jericho, who I'm a friend of, make a statement on, you know, Conan's show the other day that AEW, they're proud that they don't have writers. They're proud of that. Well, let me tell you something, bro. As a writer, it's clear as day that you don't have writers, because here's what writers do, Chris. And I'm going to use Ricochet as an example. Chris, when I was sitting down in front of my computer and writing any show for any company, when I'm writing the Ricochet segment, I'm literally putting myself in Ricochet's boots. For that segment, while I'm writing that, I am Ricochet. I become Ricochet. And now I take on the mindset of Ricochet. And I'm looking at, okay, bro, if this happened to Ricochet, what would he do? Because, bro, when I was writing for Austin, The Rock, Foley, Taker, you could take the same exact situation, bro, they would all react differently. the characters would react differently.
Yeah.
So, bro, whether it was D'Lo Brown, whether it was Ken Shamrock, I became them. So now what I'm doing, bro, is I'm protecting the character. So now I'm looking at, okay, bro, Ricochet had a match against Slapjack and he wound up getting screwed by all of Retribution. What is Ricochet doing next week? Because, bro, the bottom line is if he does nothing, now I'm the viewer at home saying, well, this guy's pretty much a pansy. So, and bro, I don't know what they're going to do, but bro, that's how you protect a talent.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do anything, bro, I remember there was a scene a couple of weeks on AEW where Cody, it was Cody against, I don't know if it was Darby Allin. There was a big baby face. Cody was wrestling a baby face, bro. All of a sudden, heels got involved, and it might have been Darby Allin, bro. I don't remember. But anyway, Darby Allin winds up, selling in the corner. Bro, Cody's supposed to be a baby face. Arn Anderson laid out Darby Allin. So, bro, I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, bro, this is a thing. Like, this is Cody's supposed to be Darby's buddy, and freaking Arn is cheap shotting. So, bro, if I'm writing that, we're picking that up next week. Like, Darby Allin's like, bro, like nothing.
Yeah.
Not a word. Bro, that's what happens when you don't have writers. You don't care about these people because they're not reacting like real people would react. That's the disconnect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And now it's kind of an uphill battle for Ricochet now because you lost against Ali a couple weeks ago, and now you lost against Slapjack. What's next? Mason T-Bar or whatever. So are you just going to go through the line of Retribution and lose to all of them and finally join them? It's like that's what it seems like.
That gives them 6 weeks of TV. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it seems like that may happen. I again, man, I really hope the best for Ricochet because he's got so much talent, man.
And he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and he's a nice guy. He really is. I know him, and he's a really, really nice guy. I really wish the best for him. He's just what he's being handed right now is just not going to help him whatsoever, unfortunately. Nope. So. Next we have Miz TV with the Sheamus. So there was a running storyline about if Sheamus is going to turn on Drew McIntyre. That was what they were trying to build for all of the show. I guess they tried to make it a thing even more when Drew McIntyre didn't come out because they were attacked. Sheamus, he started a fight. He got double teamed. He got hit by the Money in the Bank briefcase. So they tried to give us this running storyline, Vince, of is Sheamus going to turn on Drew? Were you interested?
Nobody cares, bro. This is the guy that lost to Matt Riddle, who's lost 100 times since. So, like, if Sheamus can't beat Matt Riddle, whether or not he turns on Drew, like, who freaking cares? Like, who cares? Nobody cares.
Yeah. I don't. I'm gonna show you how much I care. Next segment, Lana and Asuka going against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. So another win from Lana. Lana and Asuka win again. So this week, Lana pinned Shayna Baszler. Now I've said this before, and I don't think that WWE planned this out. It definitely doesn't seem planned out. It seems like WWE creative is saying, okay, well, since we're running with this table thing, and since the cat's out the bag, okay, yes, we are being petty. Now we're going to turn it into something that's beneficial and make Lana say, okay, see, well, look, she was supposed to be the hero the whole time. Now we're knowing that no, you weren't supposed to be the hero all the time. This is just a plan D, E, or F.
Yeah, it's really funny, Chris, what you're saying because they're so stupid that they believe we're that stupid.
Right, exactly. Right.
But now, Chris, let me first of all, bro, I swear to God, me more than anybody wants to get this show over with because I regurgitate talking about the show, but I got to back up. I got to back up, bro.
Yeah, what's up?
Some things happened like before we got there. I got to comment. Bro, first of all, this is a perfect example. Bro, every teenager, young guy watching this show, 20-something-year-old, should want to be Morrison. The guy's got the look, the guy's got the body, the guy's got the hot wife, and what do? They make him a total joke. That's a 74-year-old Vince McMahon writing for whatchamacallit, the lead singer of the Doors.
Yeah.
Like literally, the real John Morrison.
Jim Morrison,
Morrison. This is how Vince would write for him. I swear to God. So we have that whole fiasco. I mean that fiasco. Bro, then
the Doors. Who's that?
Yeah. Thank you. So then we go to this Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax promo in the back, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, bro, every backstage promo is the same. Nothing advances a story, bro. I swear to God, this one was written for 5-year-olds. Yeah. Oh, but wait a minute, but you got pinned, and like, are you freaking kidding me? Then, bro. Please, Chris, smarten me up. Asuka and Lana beat them in a tag last week, right?
Yes.
So this is another non-title match.
Yes, I was thinking this.
After they beat them last week,
yeah.
This is the same exact non-title match, and they beat them again.
Yes.
Bro, if that's not an innings eater, I don't know. I don't know what is. I don't know what is.
I was thinking the exact same thing. When they re-announced this match, I said, okay, so this is really weird because they typically do the I'm going to beat the champion to be number one contender, which I don't like. I always like, and you used to do this like, as far as the number one contender matches, like build to it. You don't have to beat the champion to become number one contender. First of all, that dilutes the champ. You should make the champ on the pedestal. You should work your way up to the champion and make the champion feel that much like you have to earn your way to me. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, they're just beating the champion to become a number one contender. That just doesn't make sense because if the champion beats the person who beat him again, okay, well, where's the rematch now? Because I beat you first. You know what I mean? So that there's nothing there. It makes it ridiculous.
Bro, look at some of the teams. Let's look at some of the teams in their prime. I'm gonna throw out a few tag teams that come to mind. The Steiner brothers. Mm-hmm. God bless Joe, the Legion of Doom. Mm-hmm. Bro, the Harlem Heat. Mm-hmm. Bro, just so many Hall and Nash. Yeah. So many great tag teams. Bro, would any of those tag teams ever have lost 2 weeks in a row?
No.
Like ever. Can you imagine the Steiner brothers in their prime losing 2 weeks in a row? Yeah. Bro, think about that. That's what I mean about Chris, of how they've lost their way.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be the most formative female tag team they have, and they're losing Lana 2 weeks in a row. Okay, so think about that, bro. Think about think about the Road Warriors losing 2 weeks in a row
to the Beverly Brothers.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like what are you guys doing?
Yeah. I agree. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. I cannot stand the I'm going to beat the champion to become the number one contender. I don't know who started that, but it has to stop. It just I want to see the champ mean something again. I want to see, like, back in Hogan days when he wouldn't even come there every week. You know what I mean? Like, that's what people didn't like, the fact that Lesnar would, come once every few months. But I didn't necessarily have an issue with it because it made the champion it made the champion and the championship look important. It looked prestigious. And I remember it was around that time when AJ was the champ on the other end when he had this year-long title reign. And he was like defending the title in the middle of SmackDown and, doing the opening segments. And you could tell the difference between Lesnar, who was barely there, and Styles, who was there every week. And it was night and day because, Lesnar looked so much bigger than Styles did. because Styles wasn't even main eventing. You're the champ. You're not even main eventing SmackDown. And we're supposed to buy in the fact that you're about to main event this pay-per-view. You couldn't even main event SmackDown. You need to make the champions look like something, look prestigious. And that's why, I know that you're not necessarily an NXT guy, but a few years back, when they would do that with Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura, when they were champions, they would have them come once every few weeks. And I loved it because it had that Hogan feel to it. Like, I'm not going to come every week. I'm too big to come here every week. I'm too prestigious to be on every Raw. You know what I mean? So I love that. Nowadays, that dynamic is just gone, and it's so bad that not only will the world champion be on every Raw, he'll lose a match for the person to become the number one contender. It's like, that's just terrible booking,
bro. I was, I did this freaking. I try my best not to get into it with the marks, but sometimes, like, the stuff they say, like, I can't help myself. I made a point of saying after SmackDown, bro, the WWE has been doing 50-50 booking for so long. Nobody's over. So look at what they did on SmackDown, bro. First of all, we're building Jay. We're building Jay. Okay, now we bury Jay to give Owens a win because now, so now we actually believe that Kevin Owens is going to beat Roman Reigns. Oh, okay, because he beat Jay, he's going to beat Roman Reigns. So my point was, they've done 50-50 booking for so long, nobody means anything. So Kevin Owens is not going to beat Roman Reigns. There's no reason to watch it. And my point was, when you go back to Vince Sr., and bro, I was like in my late teens. I wasn't 10. Mm-hmm. I'm 15, 16, 17. Bro, Vince Sr. made you believe with every heel. Bro, this is the month Bruno's losing, man. There is no way he could beat Hanson. There is no way he could beat Vince Sr. every month. And bro, Bruno would get his ass beat for 4 weeks, get his ass beat in the match, be bleeding like a pig, bro. Then he would make the comeback. And I used that as an example. And a Mark actually said to me, like, LOL. So they're laughing at me, telling me, oh, Vince, they can't do that today because back then there wasn't, 5 hours of TV and 8 shows and 10 shows and this and that. So I'm saying, you mean to tell me, bro, because there's 5 hours of WWE programming a week, they can't make heels strong?
Right.
It's too much TV. Like, do you hear what you're saying? Do you know how asinine that comment is? There's too many hours on TV to keep heels strong.
That is such a brainwashed. I'm a doctor in psychology. That's such a brainwashing comment that you're actually defending a bad product. Like exactly. It's a whole different stage of brainwashing and cognitive dissonance. When you're sitting there,
I'm pushing these guys to do better for the sake of your fans that are still watching. I'm pushing you. You could do better than this. You're better than this, and I have people arguing with me.
Wow. No, you know what, Vince? You're wrong. I don't want the heels to be strong. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense of why you would defend why the heels are so bad nowadays.
Yeah,
and it's like, even with that still doesn't make sense because you can still make the babyface so strong that whatever heel I remember back, I think it was 03, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe it was 02, 03 at times. Because I know Brock won the title in 02. And then he had a SmackDown match against Hulk Hogan. You remember when he had a SmackDown match against Hulk Hogan? And Hulk Hogan, is one of the winningest people ever. And Lesnar just decimated Hogan. And then he took his blood and just like he just smeared it on his chest. And I was a grown man looking at that like that was so like, what in the world is going on here? He is just decimating the Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
You know, and it's like that's how you put a heel over. You have him go against someone just totally, you know, like you said, you brought up like the Brunos of the day, 1980. You know, the biggest heel turn was who turned on Bruno? Larry Zbyszko, 1980, right? And it's like Bruno was such a huge star at the time. His protege, you know, Larry Zbyszko. And all of a sudden, the chair shot, boom, turn, boom. That just made Larry Zbyszko the biggest heel in 1980 at that time. Yep. You know, and it's like because Bruno was so strong at the time.
Wait a minute, you mean to tell me, bro, after the heel turn and the chair shot, they didn't beat Larry Zbyszko 2 weeks in a row? They didn't beat him 2 weeks in a row, bro.
Oh, but Vince, you know, it was 1980, man. It was
a different time. It was a different time. All right, it was a different time. Yes.
Yeah, it's you. I mean, that's what story is. You're supposed to suspend disbelief. So no matter if it was 1980, 1990, 2000.
Remember, Chris, I always go back to this, bro. Like it's this simple, bro. When Andre ripped that cross off,
yes,
bro, that simple. But do you know what they had to build to get to that?
Yes,
they weren't beating Andre 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, yes, and the build was Hogan. It was at the Royal Rumble. The build was Andre was jealous that Hogan got a bigger trophy than he did, and Andre didn't lose a match for 15 years. So he's like, oh,
and
wait.
Then of course, bro, but you had Heenan
Heenan was in his ear. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And bro, when he ripped that chain, the freaking world stopped.
Yeah. Hogan's like, not like this, brother. You know?
But it's a different time.
It's a different time.
It's a different time.
Man. And the Rockers was one of the biggest babyface tag teams of all time. The super kick, it turned Michael's career because the Rockers were so huge as a babyface tag team. They're being built so bigly.
Didn't Jannetty lose to the Brooklyn Brawler the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, he lost to he lost to Iron Mike Sharp, man.
Different time. That was a different Chris. That was a different time.
It was a different time.
They can't do that today, bro. That was a different time. Can't happen today, bro. Right. Bro, it makes me laugh. Freaking Rocky can make Rocky movies like for 30 freaking years with the same premise and the same character, and people love the movies. But in wrestling, that was
a different time.
You can't do that.
That's a really good example. Like people get Rocky movies like nothing. It's like you're right. It's the same thing. He gets beat up. He gets bullied by the villain boxer, and at the end, he gets a bunch of body shots. You know, at the end of it, it's talking about Adrian. You know, that's a Rocky movie, but they love all of them. So. Yeah. Yep. Next we have the New Day, the in-ring promo interrupted by the Hurt Business, and again, dude, it's another you've already beat the Hurt Business twice, and somehow they deserve another title shot. Somehow we get a singles match. Cedric Alexander beating Xavier Woods. Again, it feels stretched. You're trying to have another. That's a different time, though.
It's a different time. But here's what the show is. Listen, I want somebody to experiment with this next week at home. If anybody at home has like a gerbil and you have the wheel and the gerbil just keeps running around the wheel, that's this show.
Yes.
Like that is this show. It's the gerbil running around the same wheel week after week after week after week, and nothing ever happens, bro. That's Raw. That's Raw in a nutshell.
Yeah, and it's just think about this. Say I knew someone in college, and they came to me, and I beat them up. I said, no, I'm just going to beat you up, right? And they come to me again, and I beat them up again. And then the next week, I'm like, "You want some? You want some? Come on, let's fight." Like,
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Chris,
I beat you up twice. Why would I pick a fight with you now? Like, I've already proven my point. All of the people are like, "Okay, well, Chris he beat him up 2 weeks in a row. It's ridiculous for him to say, 'Hey, so you want me now?'"
Remember, bro, you're talking about, Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Mm-hmm.
When the knight got his arm chopped off. Oh, come on, that's all you got. Come on. The guy came back and chops off the other arm. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing, bro.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. We see this every week. AJ Styles defeating Matt Riddle and Keith Lee for the #1 contendership. This would have been my guess. I mean, I didn't see Riddle and Keith Lee. They both were baby faces. They're trying to make Drew strong after losing to Roman. So, I mean, it's cool that AJ's at this spot now, but I don't see AJ beating Drew. I think this is definitely a spot filler.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think too, like, this is another, they're doing the old testing Matt Riddle. That's exactly, we're gonna beat him and see if he says anything. Bro, the games, like the freaking games, they're just unbelievable to me, bro. Just unbelievable to me.
Yeah. Yep. Next we get a Dana Brooke pulling off a win against Reckoning. It used to be Mia Yim, but Reckoning. And this is her first match as Reckoning. And if they're trying to push Retribution, talk about 50-50. You're trying to they get a couple wins after getting some losses. They've racked up a couple wins. Ali won like a week or two ago. Shane Thorne or what's his name now? Slapjack. he wins. But on the same, if you're trying to build Retribution on the same Raw, you have the female just lose. Like there's nothing to it. She just lost.
Bro, let me ask you a question. Her mask came off, right?
Yep.
Accidentally?
Yes.
I bet you that's why they beat her. I guarantee you, bro, she was supposed to go over in the match. She lost that mask throughout the match, and I guarantee you they changed the finish. I guarantee you, bro.
That was an audible in the ref's ear, huh?
I'm telling you, bro, because there's no other way you can make sense out of it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can make sense. She lost a mask. Vince got freaking pissed off. He's sitting there at gorilla position, and they're buzzing the referee to change the finish.
Wow.
There's no other way that makes sense. No way, bro.
Yeah, I agree. There's really no way.
Yep.
They're building. She beats up Dana Brooke handily a few weeks back, so much that she loses her spot in Survivor Series. And without any type of other build to this, I'm just going to go in a regular match. And Dana Brooke hardly ever wins matches.
Yep.
And they're building Retribution just for Reckoning to lose the match. That's really interesting. I think that definitely could be the case. Yep. Backstage, we get Riddle and MVP. They're discussing, he's discussing business deals with Riddle. So he gets attacked by Lashley. Is this just making Riddle look like an idiot, or are we actually seeing a potential U.S. title feud, though?
With Riddle
and Lashley, yeah.
Well, bro, first of all, you don't where's the heat when the guy already got beat earlier in the night? So now you got to beat up, not only a beat up wrestler, but a beat up wrestler that lost, and now Lashley's getting him in the gimmick. So, like, where's the heat in this? Right. To me, this is just Barry Riddle, Test Riddle, Barry Riddle. That's what this looks like to me.
Definitely could be. Lastly, we get McIntyre and Sheamus defeating Miz.
A minute, hold up.
Oh, I'm missing something else. Go for it.
We're gonna fly right by the wordsmith who came up with that's not a pie, it's a cupcake.
Oh yeah.
At 10:45 at night, bro. We're gonna, bro. What is wrong with these people? Bro,
yeah.
it's 10:45 at night. That's not a pie, it's a cupcake. Bro, do you understand they did the whole pie bit just so this guy could deliver that line?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, talk about a stretch. I mean, you're talk about stretching the product. That's probably why I'm trying to condense it so much because it feels so stretched. It's like,
man,
why in the world? Like, who in the world at, like you said, 10:35 at night? Who was watching Raw for that line? Out of the 2 million people that watch Raw, who watched that and said, okay, that's it. That's the reason why I watched Raw for the past 2.5 hours.
Right, everybody. Yeah.
Right. That's exactly right. That's why.
I don't know, man. I don't
know. Yeah. So after that, we get McIntyre and Sheamus. They defeated Miz and Morrison by DQ because of Styles. So the theme backstage earlier, Miz and Morrison was talking to AJ, and that was the whole thing about the pie and the cupcake. They wanted AJ to help him help him cash in, and AJ said yes because he feels that cupcake. Miz he feels like cupcake.
Right. If Miz wins it, he can beat Miz.
Yeah, he feels like Miz is easier to win than Drew McIntyre. And John Morrison actually agreed with that. That was pretty funny.
But bro, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Just so you know, because Chris, I don't want you to lose any sleep over this. I know you got to get up bright and early in the morning and go to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to lose any sleep over this. The bell never rung, so it wasn't official in him turning the case in.
Oh,
just so you know, bro, it was never, and we're gonna open up Raw, by the way, next week, stating that fact.
Yeah,
so everybody knows that is segment 1 next week on Raw.
Miz TV.
Miz TV, they could tell us for the 50th time the bell never rang, so I never officially turned in the case.
Yes,
that's the opening of next week Raw.
That's I think that there's a really strong case of that opening up, Miz and Morrison on Miz TV saying something like that.
Bro, can we seriously? I swear I do this all the time at the end of whether it's this show or AEW, whatever it is, bro. What can I say positive about this show? I've got to be able to say one positive thing about this show.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have one?
I'm trying to look at.
I got one.
As far as this show is concerned, I'll defer to. I mean, maybe Lana picking up a win because my like I said last week, my theory was. I can see Asuka and Lana defeating Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler in the tables match at TLC for the tag titles. And so with Lana winning, it's still stupid that it's 2 weeks in a row they had to prove their point. But if Lana winning, I guess that can lead up to my theory. So for the sake of my theory coming to pass, I think that was a bit of a good moment.
My positive for this week's show is going to be Charlie's wardrobe choices.
Okay.
That was part of the show for me. I liked her outfit very much when she was interviewing Drew.
Mm-hmm.
I think Charlie should dress that way every week. So her wardrobe choice this week was my positive.
There you go. No more turtlenecks. It sounds good. I think I like that segment at the end of our show, Vince. Let's do one positive for the night if we haven't found any. So
my positive every week on SmackDown, bro. I don't know what it is. I swear to God, every time Reigns refers to himself as the tribal chief, it pops me.
I love it. Yes,
it is, bro. It popped. It just popped. I found myself saying it on Thanksgiving. I found myself saying it.
I'm not a mark to get shirts and stuff like that for people but I want one of those head of the table shirts.
I do. I was thinking the same exact thing when I watched the show. I got to get one of those head of the table shirts.
Yes,
that pops every time.
I do. Yeah. And I would be honest with you too. It's a family of 5 here in the house, me, my wife, and 3 kids. And today it was so funny because my wife actually was 12:12 Eastern now, but when we started Raw was the conclusion of my daughter's birthday. She turned 3. And so my wife, very creative, she took our dining area and she made it this really nice studio-like birthday area. We had a virtual birthday party on Sunday. It was really fun. Nice. And so as of today, it was still kind of flush against the wall we usually have in the middle of the dining room. So it was my kids on the other end of the table, my daughter, and then my wife. And then I was like, you know what? I healed up a little bit. I said, am I going to sit next to my wife or am I going to be at the head of the table?
You got to be at the head. See, that's we want a little something to amuse us.
Yes, indeed.
So in 3 hours, give us one thing that amuses us. That's all we want.
Bro. Yeah, absolutely. And I healed up and I said, you know what? I'm going to sit at the head of the table. Yeah, that's exactly. And that's exactly what happened. So Vince, Cam says you need to go back writing for them. Save this show.
Oh, please, bro.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for the birthday shout out to my daughter. Yep, 3 years old. So
yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. Good stuff, Vince. Let them know about the brand.
Yeah, I want to let them know this. This is very, very, very important. If you guys have never sampled, bro, I checked this out the other day, man. I've been doing the podcast now. It's been 6 years now, bro. So I've been doing this for a while. But if you guys have never checked out russosbrand.com, Chris, every December as a Christmas gift, I do it every December. If you've never subscribed to or tried the brand, we give you a month free. You have the whole month of December to go to russosbrand.com, grab your free month. If you do it December 4th, you got till January 4th, et cetera, et cetera. No strings attached, no long-term commitment, nothing. What I'm doing is I'm offering you to sample russosbrand.com and everything that goes with it for a month on us. Absolutely free. This is going to kick off tomorrow at noon Eastern. Just go to russosbrand.com, grab your free month. No obligation, no strings attached.
Fantastic. Awesome, man. Well, he's Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. Another exciting Raw and another
riveting.
Another lackluster episode of Legion of Raw. For another week. It's been fun as always. That was definitely the other way around. This was really fun, and Raw was very lackluster, unfortunately. But we make it very fun. And, it's another time. It's another day. It's another time. But,
Bro, can you imagine people like that tonight that are seriously trying to dissect that show? Like on a serious, can you imagine? Like really, bro?
Real quick, that's good that you said that. Real quick, after Raw, how did the debriefing sessions go post Raw?
There was none.
None.
No, we done. Get to the hotel and get to bed as quickly as possible. None. Zero, bro. Zero. Wow. Different time, bro. We showed up at the building, bro. We worked our asses off. There were no last minute changes. What we left Stamford, Connecticut with, that was the show. Mm-hmm. We knew the show inside and out. We worked a full day. When that show was over, we went home. If we had anything to talk about, we would talk about it the next day.
Okay, so yeah. So at least it would be a debriefing perhaps the next day or something.
If there was something to talk about, if there was a major faux pas or somebody got hurt or, something didn't go quite the way we wanted to, if there was something to talk about, we would talk about it. But
Yeah.
Other than that, bro, I mean, I'm telling you, Chris, we left nothing on the table. So by the time 11 o'clock at night came, bro, the gas tank's on empty.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This day's over. We'll start again tomorrow.
And Mondays are 12-hour days anyway.
Oh, easy, bro.
So,
easy. Yeah.
I just would. To me, it just seems like they have to debrief. Like if it's not Monday, it's fine. I understand it's a 12-hour day on Monday, but just something. I mean, just do they debrief and just look at Raw and just watch the tape and say, oh yeah, I didn't really like. Okay, yeah, I really don't think the fans were like that. Like, just, I mean, if they put everything on the table like y'all did, if they had that same mindset, they need to have another head. They need to have a new head at the table, Vince.
Yeah, Chris. Here's the bottom line: the structure is completely broken, and until the structure is addressed, you're never, ever going to see an improvement. The structure, the setup, the foundation is broken.
Yeah. What's not broken is this show. So it's been lots of fun. And we are both sitting at the head of our table. So
all by ourselves because we're the only ones talking about this show at midnight, bro.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He's Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris Featherstone. Another episode, Legion of Raw. Until next week. Oh, what a rush. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.